Yes, hello, I am James Rowlands, and today it's the WNR396. It's NXT UK report, and I have the pleasure to be joined by Monty. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Well, I'm happy to be back again here, talking about NXT UK this time. So I'm ready, man. Just as always, it's good to join you. We've been doing this a lot recently, so I'm ready to just get into the swing of things. Like I'm used to it now. It's almost like it's coming. Like I just know, all right, well, James is coming up this weekend. Let's get it going. Or, whenever we're recording it, let's get this going. And I think this is going to be another fun show, another fun review. So yeah, let's do it.
And like I said, the people listen as well, do not worry. Monty's being fed. And, of course, he's got something to drink as well when I do release him just to do the weekly pod.
That's all I'm just forced to agree or comply with that message. I can't confirm or deny if it's true.
You must comply. But anyway, it's great to have you back on the show. Like I say, Monty, you're as part as WNR as anybody has ever been. And such a huge part is, like I said, looking at NXT and NXT UK. And we have 6 episodes of NXT UK to catch up on. But it's not as bad because, like I said, they are kind of manageable chunks of an hour. Unfortunately, we have got one episode of NXT O. So we will. And the people have asked, and I will say, we'll do shout outs in, the next month. The amount of emails that have said, I've never seen you guys or been so positive about a subject, and then 2 months later, just the complete opposite. They have broken our spirit in NXT, and I apologise.
It's a strong point. We were I noticed it too. We were very positive for a while there. We genuinely was enjoying even the little things that other people probably hate from NXT. And now it gets to the point to where 2.0 itself makes my skin crawl. So yeah, I understand.
But the thing is that we're sticking to it at this moment in time.
Oh yes.
Like I said,
sucker for pain here. For pain.
We've got NXT, NXT UK. We've got the latest on the network. But first, the news. And one of the most shocking news that I spoke with Jaxie about last time was, of course, the fan that attacked Seth Rollins. I mean, what were your thoughts when you first saw it? I know it's a couple of weeks ago now. We've got a little update.
Yeah.
But what were your genuine reaction?
It's always shocking. I think it's hard to not. It's hard to. I don't want to sound cliche, but it's hard to not just be completely just shell shocked when you see it because you're never expecting it. Especially, and then with the speed, his run in and the intensity, it almost for a second there, I thought this was a planned thing until you realize what really was going on. So initially, it was just straight shock, but obviously after figuring out what was going on, after seeing it all the way through and listening not only to what's going on online about it, but just getting more information in general. It's just obviously just unacceptable stuff. Like you don't go when you when you're lucky enough to be at those shows. And I know you pay your hard-earned money. And we have a lot of people, especially in America. I know a lot of people who are always going to be proud about the money they spend somewhere. So some people feel like that means they get to do what they want, say what they want, and that's just not the case. And for some reason in Brooklyn that night, they were just extra rowdy, and this guy right here obviously was taking it way too seriously or whatever was going on. I don't know all the details. All I know is that that's unacceptable. You never jump the guardrail. You're putting yourself at risk. You're putting the wrestler at risk. And now, I saw a lot of people having things to say about how Seth looked. I know some old school, a lot of people with the old school mentality feel like Seth should have just straight up, destroyed him. And I know personally myself, what I feel like I would have done probably wouldn't have been professional. So I always got to give Seth all the credit for being professional because they would have asked me, Monty, why didn't you stop hitting the man? That's my logic. That's how I work through things like that because that's a threat. When you're running at me like that, and like I said, Seth handled it the correct way. And anybody who has anything bad to say about the way Seth handled it, I don't really want to hear anything from him because I don't see how you can do any better than what Seth did, especially coming back out there later, playing it into his entrance, being obnoxious Seth Rollins that we all have coming to either know him and probably still hate even more, or you love him like I always have been able to appreciate Rollins. And it was just a moment. I will say this is also funny. It's always funny to me when things happen in wrestling and I see it pop up in other medias, like randomly on TikTok. Other people who are not fans of wrestling were just and listening to them give commentary about what happened and how it looked to someone who doesn't know what's going on is hilarious. So that is probably like one bright spot about it. But other than that, yeah, unacceptable, stupid fans. I don't know what's been going on. Something that was going on in the NBA in America with fans and just like people getting kicked out of games for saying stuff, doing stuff. So I don't know what's been going on since post-pandemic. I don't think people are appreciating the privilege it is to be at these shows now. I know, from experience, and a lot of people, especially in the UK, like we're going to be talking about NXT UK. They're just recently getting people back into the BT Sport Arena. So, like, taking that, obviously, some people are just not taking that seriously at all. But yes, it is a pandemic still going on. So it's just a huge list of reasons why what the fan did is just unacceptable. But at the end of the day, it was just crazy. It was crazy. I don't know if it did anything for Raw's ratings, but it was interesting. It was an interesting moment. I did say it stuck out on television.
The thing about it is the commentators didn't know how to react to it, and looking back now, it's probably the most successful, and this is a horrible thing to say, but most successful fan running. To get that distance and speed, like
no one ever gets that close without people hanging on to them by
especially WWE and when WCW used to see it back in the day and other independent promotions, but not WWE. It's like how brazen
security, man.
And this thing I've heard as well about WWE fans reacting like this. No, it's not. All right, it's not WWE. It's not AEW. It's just one person, and apparently the person himself. Was asked. I shouldn't laugh because it is a fucking most stupid thing to do. And again, in the serious side, he could have had a knife, he could have had a weapon. We just don't
never know. Exactly. It was a legit threat. So.
Well, he spoke with the New York Post and said he's apologised to WWE. He told the outlet, "I apologise to WWE for my actions. I had a legitimate beef. But as a grown man, I could have settled it in a different way. If I saw him today, I wouldn't attack him." The so-called legitimate beef will say, says he met Rollins at meetings, he interacted with him on WhatsApp, although he interacted with B. Rollins.
Right.
He was asked Rollins for helping launch his own wrestling career and basically was giving him money, $3,000 check for the cars that bounced as well. And the man said he was just trying to help Finn Balor as well. My plan was to help Finn Balor. I'm a fan. I like his attitude. I like everything about his career. So I saw what he did and I ran and I speared Seth Rollins. And I busted his lip open. He caught me in a headlock. And I broke the headlock. And I was trying to get him. And the guards got us apart. It sounds like the guy really resents. Really, realises what he's done wrong here when he's saying this. Obviously, the guy is delusional. But
I was just about to say, delusion. Oh, my goodness. That's just so delusional.
And for me, it's the excuse of social media. Sam Gradwell likes a few of my WNR tweets like that, but I wouldn't then see him at a show and be like, "You and me are best mates now."
Exactly.
Like, we live together. It's not.
Yeah. No.
I mean, what else can be said about it?
Yeah, and then invading space and physically threatening and everything he says about the whole financial thing. People get scammed on social media all the time. But, so, like, that doesn't excuse jumping on someone while they're doing their job, all of that type of stuff, not trying to figure out other ways. We've seen wrestlers and celebrities try to track down the people who are scamming these other people or try to, at least speak out against it. You never know. It could have went so many different ways. So if that was legit, an issue, it was obviously better ways to handle it. But then he negates any of that, any sympathy you could possibly feel for him goes away when he gets all delusional and talks about him helping Finn Balor. It is a show. You're not a part of the show. You're not helping Finn Balor. You know what I mean?
He doesn't want the hot tag. If you go for tag me back, people say, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Right. Like, and then, like I said, if Finn was included in that segment, guess who would have been hitting him also? Finn.
If you want to
he would have
help
been right
him,
there at that moment in that area, Finn would have been beating him also, and then he wouldn't have been a fan of Finn anymore. So like,
if you want to help Finn, go and get Bobby Lashley or something like that. You know, go get Brock Lesnar. Go get someone like that.
He knew better. I think they know better about that. Bobby has done some despicable stuff. No one is trying that. Don't matter.
I don't like his aura. That's about. Oh God. Anyway, we move on from the ridiculous to the scary, as it was, because Stephanie McMahon was all over in the UK. And, this is basically what she said. She said, we have three daughters, Triple H and her daughter. They are 15, 13, and 11. And the oldest one was 8 years old. Mama, I don't want your job. Daddy, I don't want your job. I want Pops, Vince McMahon's job. So just like her grandfather, she wants boss, and we'll see what happens. And my oldest daughter has already started training, and my youngest daughter is also very interested in all about the personality. What do you think of Triple H and Stephanie's daughter beating Charlotte Flair's reign for women's championships?
I was just about to say it. Like, what are they gonna go with? Is it gonna if she wrestles with the McMahon name, which we pretty much can guarantee, or any reference to her father, which like again we can guarantee.
Haley Hurst Helmsley.
Exactly. I would not be surprised if it like it. Exactly, we can see it, and I would not be surprised. You're right on point. Especially with Charlotte. At that point, Charlotte will have about 35 reigns. And it'll be a classic WrestleMania moment. And oh my goodness, can you just wait till the internet trolls about that one?
Oh my god,
they're gonna. Oh my goodness, she's gonna. You know what though? I really do hope the best because wrestling is obviously in their blood. And let's just be real. Even though Shane McMahon has done a lot, he's jumped off a lot of things. Stephanie has been in big time moments. Like with the Ronda Rousey match, that's probably one of the highest rated McMahon matches I think I've ever seen. So think about it though. We're going to actually have a McMahon who's good in the ring.
We hope.
They're great at getting heat and stuff, but like we actually may have one that can wrestle. Can you believe it?
She hits a pedigree, just waits a minute to pin every opponent.
Oh man, she has to have the promo style of her father with the over exaggeration and the
I am
and even though Lemons passed away, they have to give her a Motorhead song. Way too young to know anything about Motorhead, but
it is scary though when we think about it. Talking about ring wrestlers and stuff like this, I saw a picture as well on Instagram. We spoke about off air. We're talking about now Volta getting into a lot of rumors going around. Rumor has it that he's going to be on the main roster. He's main roster ready anyway. But with this look, do you think he's just trying to iron out all the kinks before he makes that move?
Yes, I believe if it is any truth to that, and he's meant for the man, I believe this is an attempt, and I don't blame him. I think Pete Dunne also did something similar because I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Pete Dunne now with his physique currently, he still may not get the respect that he may deserve because of height or whatever it is whatever quirk Vince finds foreign, whatever Vince, whatever, they have a lot of quirks, so it just depends on how they're feeling. But I think with his physique now, he has a better chance than he had when he was the original Bruiserweight run, if you see what I'm saying, with the physique. Same thing can be said for Volta right now. I agree with you. He was 100% ready already, but what we have seen, WWE still, whether it has anything to do with the physique or whatever it is, they don't necessarily do. They're not the most consistent when it comes to booking the unconventional looking guys, even when their money like a Volta is. You know what I'm saying? And so with that being said, I can understand him wanting to slim down or, tone up at least look more impressive, to go along with that height and that stature and that hard hitting style. I think this can help him make an impression. I don't know if this is gonna mean he's gonna last long, or he has a better last longer, or he's going to have a better trajectory on the main roster. I'm not sure, because there's still other hurdles that you have to get around once you make it up there. Even if you have everything, you still can go left you never know on the main roster.
Sorry.
I'm just saying, but I can definitely see him setting up the building blocks to make his road a little bit easier.
I think he's got to, I think if he's going to go to America, like he'll have this chance. And if Vincent Mann really wants a heel, as he's tried with Cross and he's tried with Keith Lee and others, all you do is have Walter do exactly what he did with the NXT UK then, where you have the music, you have that entrance, and then he chops, or Jack Stars as it was, who's still got the handprint of that slap. The chop, and just hit whoever it is, R-Truth, no matter who, hit them as hard as he possibly can with that chop. Yeah. And everybody will know how serious they're. But like you said...
But how many times have we hoped that they wouldn't change a thing?
I was going to say, the conversation in 2 months' time of Walter has been released, and it's a real damn shame. We've done that speech in the chat too many times this year.
Yes.
Even with massive stars like, Bray Wyatt or Braun Strowman, to people who were future champions like Keith Lee or Karrion Kross. It is crazy. And this is a question, though. We talk about great, the biggest stars in WWE history. Which WWE star has the highest win? So what wrestler is the highest win
in history? I don't, it's tough. Always, the first person come to my mind is Brock Lesnar, but in recent years, he has taken a couple more losses, so that percentage may have taken a hit. So I'm thinking Brock Lesnar. I know he's up there, but who is number one? I'm not sure.
It's a bit of a cop-out. I'm not going to lie to you. Because they are second on the list. So he's second on the overall. Right, so the man who has had the most wins, this is just male, highest win percent of a man who has wrestled 25 matches for WWF, WWF, and WWE. At this moment, with 90 days.
Sweet.
Your man.
That is
you see?
Sweet.
And what... we don't really talk about Raw and SmackDown a lot.
No.
What the fuck are they doing with Damien Priest?
See, and here we go again. I may mention it later. Changing stuff for the sake of changing things. Like, I understand that they're trying to show that it's two sides to him, I guess. But I felt like he was doing okay anyway. And like I said, I don't know. Maybe they just want to add their own little twist to his character or whatever it is. But when they give him a chance and they do what just let him wrestle and do what we come to know him capable of from his time in NXT and before that, he shines all the time. Doesn't matter if he's face. And like I said, I'm not sure if this is leading to a possible full heel turn or, this Jekyll and Hyde. Some people like it. Some people are enjoying the Jekyll and Hyde-ish, like when he snaps. I don't like it because the only thing I don't really like about it is because I really don't like how every week, basically, I'm just waiting for one thing to make him snap. When it really should be like, now, if you're telling me every time the bell hits, every time the match starts, and then he snaps and something, not that he needs to go all festive on me, but you know what I mean? Like, he's more aggressive when the bell rings. I get that. But for him to start doing irrational stuff, getting DQ'd at the pay-per-view, which was kind of, foolish to me, it is what it is. I don't know. I'm confused. But like you said, he has been very, very protected so far. I'm glad you gave me that stat because it does make sense. Because pretty much, I think Shinsuke was his first anything, right? If it is considered a loss, right? Or something. Or maybe he lost tag too or something. But I know Shinsuke was a DQ, so that's not even really a loss. So they're doing a good job protecting him. And the bad thing is about this, I don't necessarily know how good the build of Priest has been because I've just been comparing it to a lot of the failures, if you see what I'm saying. So, but so far, they haven't went to the point to where he can't return from. Yeah, because they sometimes they do that and they just make you look like a joke and you never can return from it. I think Priest still looks strong, and that's at least a positive thing to think about going forward.
Yeah, especially when the character works, But this is the problem: the character works, and then they're going, "Oh, do you know what? Let's change it." And they go, "No, it's actually getting a good reaction. If you're not careful, the kind of goodwill he's built up will then be taken away, and it would just be a kind of And then when they do turn him back face, it would be kind of a Roman Reigns trying to, push Damian Priest down our throats. The person with the most wins, winning 94% of her WWE matches, is, of course, Ronda Rousey, which is not really surprised when you consider how
undefeated, pretty much. Yeah.
Without doubt. So we move on to WWE Network. Of course, we always try and have a look at the Broken Skull, new Stone Cold one. This is Jeff Hardy. Have you managed to catch any of it yet?
Yes, I did. I was able to watch it, and it was a good watch. Another great conversation from Austin. I love it. Again, like I said, I love when he gets a chance to talk about people who are kind of doing it currently. And Jeff is the perfect guest for Austin because he has the history that Austin can go back from and reference and, do what he does best. But he also has what's going on currently and what he's been doing the last decade and what's been going on with his life personally that allow Austin to be able to delve into that too. You know what I mean? And so I think Hardy is just always a good person when it comes to these long form interviews. Oh my goodness, like finding out how much he made when at first, his very first WWE, like knowing he was underage, like it's just great insight to all the little things. I think if you're a fan like me and you've been a fan of Jeff Hardy a long time, you may have known about these things, you may have heard about it, but it was cool to hear his perspective directly from his mouth. And of course, with Austin's questions and the way he does things, it always adds an extra layer of entertainment. This was a very, very good watch.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard much of Jeff's stories, as we know, focusing on TLC and stuff like this. And I do love Stone Cold because he didn't seem that impressed when Jeff was talking about career goals. And Jeff's going, well, I do have an idea. And Austin's just, you can hear him go, like, Jesus Christ, I'll just get something done. It's like you talk about, it's always interesting with Jeff mentioning Matt kind of doing the business deals where it will be when they were, working dark matches, like squash match, to being signed. And you think about the WWE talent turnover now. The Hardy Boys were 1994 there and didn't get their break until 99. It just wouldn't happen now. Actually, the closest we got is Aaliyah or Nymph, who went up from NXT to SmackDown. Apart from that, it doesn't happen.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy to me how much little, history that he was a part of. Also, another thing, the fact that, it makes sense when you think about his presentation usually, and the reason why they always throw Jeff into that same role that he's always been. But the fact that he don't really talk to Vince about what he's doing, you know what I'm saying? Or about what he's wanted to do over the years. So that just lets you know all of the good things that went for him is because of how popular he was almost. It wasn't any backstage, this and that. It wasn't even the fact that he was suggesting different ideas. It was just the fact that every time he opened up that curtain, the love that everybody shows Jeff Hardy, till this day, by the way, is just on another level. And that helped him also,
Yeah. What did I say?
Along the way.
Jeff's got likability factor about it. It's just saying that he was even when young and whatever it is, that kind of the closest maybe Darby Allin now, just kind of a thrill seeker who even said in TLCs, they just said, oh, Jeff will do the big bump. We can put the match together, whatever it is, and then give it to Jeff to do afterwards. And you think with Hardy, even talks, the match against The Undertaker in a ladder match, and then, kind of dropping the ball and being released and always kind of being, quite straight up about his problems,
They even brought up the Sting match, man.
I went back and watched it because it was like, it gets forgotten about.
Yes.
Talk about when the expression, no condition to perform.
That is the definition of it, exactly. You could just see it from the moment he stepped out of the curtain. It's like, no way, he does not need to be out here. And the fact that he's always been open about that, even talking about the actual plan, the original finish of it. Like a lot of people, may not, want to do that, may not want to discuss those things and all of that, or be as open about where they were at that time in their lives. But again, like you said, he's just an open book, and that's another thing that adds on to that likability factor.
Well, there's a couple of other things as well that I took away from it. And when he said watching wrestling as a kid, and touching the hands of his favourite guys, whether it be Sting or whoever else like that, which is very interesting considering Jeff's incident was with Sting and the look of disgust on Sting's face. But anyway, he said that at that point, the rest of his career, he wanted to make the fans feel like he did at 12 years old. And luckily, I've had quite good experience to go and watch Raw and SmackDown when it comes over in the UK, for the past decade or so. And there's only one wrestler that I've seen actually stop and go to interact with the crowd and everything like this behind the cameras and everything like that when it went off air, and that was Jeff Hardy. And I was taken aback, and I was like, he really didn't need to do it, and he took his time to meet all the kids, even the crowd, and sign stuff. You could just gone back and just blanket and look at Randy Orton, look at CM Punk, and yet Jeff's going around and doing all this. He's just quite a nice guy.
Yeah, and you wouldn't, and I don't even think he even knows how big of a legend he is to us. Like as like you said, to go back to his story, all of us, especially me, because I was around 5 and 6 years old when he jumped off, when he was speared off the top of the ladder, off the top of the championship he was hanging from Edge. Like I was, like right in that age of you're most susceptible to falling for this art form that we love, and Jeff Hardy is at the forefront of that, and I don't even think he understands just how important he was. Yeah, it was Austin, it was The Rock, Triple H, Undertaker. You had all those great stars, but people like Jeff Hardy, it's almost understated, really, just how important he was in the Attitude Era, post Attitude Era, and even now in this role in his career now, he's still one of them most valuable. And I can't say enough about Jeff Hardy, and this is a great watch for anybody who did not check it out. Please watch it. Whether you're a fan of Jeff Hardy, I feel like if you're not a fan of Jeff Hardy, something's wrong with you anyway. But this would help you, help that illness that you possibly have. But anyway,
this is say, and but there's a couple of things, and it's great to see the clip of him knocking himself out when on the hard ring. You see him trying to shoot a star and knocks himself out, and there's a cavalcade of footage from these kind of developmental rings. We've seen it when Kane was, sitting up like the Undertaker in past shows. I want to find all that footage, all the stock footage of like The Rock and Mark Henry training.
Just working.
It'd be brilliant. And also, it's a bit of a shame that I felt like they looked at the TLC Hardy, and then they showed him obviously winning the WWE title and Edge, but didn't really go into detail. Obviously, couldn't with a feud, but it's a shame they didn't mention the Punk and Jeff Hardy feud, because I think that's the one. If you look at Jeff's, like I said, I know the Hardys, but single feuds, that one in the summer of 2009, and I can't remember shit about certain years, but I know that was Night of Champions and SummerSlam.
And if you know anything about the late 2000s, it was, other than certain stories and certain stuff, it was rough to watch at times. So remembering that I do agree, that was one of the most memorable feuds, and like a lot of that back and forth verbally, mostly from Punk, of course, to Jeff, and like the real life element of it that from years later that it felt like it was going on now. So one of the most prominent feuds that he ever had, especially in one-on-one competition. So that was an omission that, even though I understand it, because I guess it's no point, but honestly, they talk about Impact, talk about everything else. I don't know if they avoided it because of Punk. Maybe Jeff didn't want to go into it or whatever. I don't know, but that was definitely a notable omission. But other than that, I don't really know. I mean, of course, they could have delved deeper into other parts, but I thought it was well done overall, other than, like you said, small omissions like that.
And obviously the final note from it was Austin asking Jeff, what have you got left? And Jeff seemed to saying, like, I'm a step slower. I can't move like I used to, but I've got one good run left. I
agree.
We do need to see Roman Reigns versus Jeff Hardy, don't we? They're teasing. We need to see that, man.
Yes, and that's another thing. So far from what I have been able to see of SmackDown, until recently, he was basically just sitting backstage, and you could just hear, even when he's doing nothing, Jeff is the most popular guy on the show. Like, he's just literally just standing back there with nymphs, and they were like doing nothing, and the pop was sick. So, Jeff Hardy versus Roman Reigns will be money. I don't necessarily know if he can beat the Tribal Chief, but he deserves another shot in the main event spot. And I think he has enough, like, based on what he's been able to do since coming back. I thought before the injury and all that, I thought the stuff with Sheamus was cool. I know a lot of people didn't like the lines that was crossed, but the actual work and the fight that they gave, like Shane's been killing it by the way along for a while now. He's just been on fire. But yeah, Jeff Hardy, I think definitely has enough left in the tank, and I can't wait to see what they do next with him.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. So now we move to NXT UK. Like I said, a few episodes to catch up on, but we should fly through it. We start off October 21st. Of course, Andy Sheppard and Nigel Mcguinness welcome us. We kick things off with some women's action. We see, of course, Zara Brookside versus Leah James, and the fans fire things up around a collapse. Both women shake hands for tangling. Both have great technical exchanges. James raised Brookside's Brooksy bomb and rolls her up instead. James created a major upset on Brookside, but she lands herself a successful pinfall victory. An upset over Alosia Brookside slaps away Aaliyah James's handshake. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I was really interested in seeing what Aaliyah James brought to the table. You know, I don't really know much about her, so it was a learning curve here. And she looked as okay as you can look in the time they gave it, about 6-7 minutes mostly. So it wasn't that long, but I thought she looked good. And it was a basic match, but not basic in a bad way. You know what I mean? And so I was surprised by the roll-up victory. I was happy that James won, but I was surprised. And Brookside being a sore loser again seemed to be the point of this segment, though. So, and I thought that was well executed because she definitely have not taken her recent, downfalls well. So we'll see where that goes next.
Yeah, without a doubt. She needs to change it up a little bit. I like the look at James. She was, like I said, just starting out. It was a good see Miko Satomura fused to think Ginny has any chance of taking the title away from her. Both of them will square off in 2 weeks. Kenny Williams says All NXT UK is filled with his insecure boys compared to him. He's ready to create a shock of the lives by becoming the next big thing. And then we get Jack Stars and Dave Mastiff versus Symbiosis, Primate and T-Bone. We see the NXT UK Tag Team Champions pretty deadly join our commentary. Yes, boy! Stars escapes out Primate and Eddie Dennis on the outside to make a desperate tag to Mastiff. Mastiff's in the corner. He then comes crashing in with a cannonball, but Dennis pulls out a steel chair and shoves it straight into Stars' stomach, and the ref calls for the match to cue Ashton Smith and Oliver Carter make the save. Baby faces. It's shenanigans, but you gotta like it.
Yeah, I think that's a really, really good word for it. Definitely shenanigans. And it was, this match was solid, there for a while. And you should know by now, James, I hate DQ finishes. But setting up tag team setting up new tag team contenders, and like you said, with the chaos that went on, this was great. And and this didn't feel, it made the match not completely pointless because of all those players involved, along with watching. So yeah, this was cool.
We see Charlie Dempsey looking to continue building his legacy here at NXT UK. Gallus rudely interrupts his interview, and when they walk away, Gallus finds himself in a brawl with Tiaman and Rowan Raja. Supernova sessions with Noam Dar. Dar welcomes us to the show. Guests this week are the NXT UK Heritage Cup champion Tyler Bate and Trent Seven. Well, Seven wasn't actually invited, but he let him stay. He says he's the number one contender for the Cup. Dar announces Bate's days as champions are over. Calls Bate lazy. He thinks Seven is weighing him down. Seven stands up and starts spouting off. Bate calms him, returns to the topic at hand, the Heritage Cup Championship. Bate Dar exchange some final words for fighting shoes. Seven and Shah Samuels holding both back, and that's how soon ends. Of course, next week Dar will go 1-on-1 against Bate for the Heritage Cup. I love Dar and Shah, and I think Dar had some valid points.
Yeah. I love Supernova sessions, man, and I've loved every one I've seen, but I really like this one because it accomplished the goal of building towards Bate and Dar, of course, but also it did a really good job of continuing the tease, that Trent Seven is holding Tyler Bate back, man. That's perfect. That is perfect because just from what I've been watching, as someone who I'm gonna act like I didn't watch NXT UK at all from before I started reviewing it, and just since then. You can see they slowly but surely are letting you know that they're just teasing it, and slowly, little bit by little, week after week after week, that they're teasing something between Seven and Bate. Not so much on Bate's side, but you can kind of see the cracks showing in Seven as he's having a hard time holding himself together, even in this segment. But yeah, man, this is perfect.
We see Jordan Devlin getting one final workout in for his main event match. Both Mark Coffey and Wolfgang still his gear. I do quite like Alex's hijinks. I never thought the three guys would actually be like goofing around, but it adds personality.
Yeah, I mean, you don't expect it. You know, they're threats. They're dangerous, but they also, you know, like you said, can have a little fun. It's nice to see they can do that without coming off as goofy and, you know, and kind of making them look stupid. They don't look stupid. They look like you said, well-rounded guys who can kick your ass, but at the same time tell a joke or, you know, be entertaining too. So it worked.
Without doubt. In the main event, can the Irish Ace capitalise on his first victory over the Iron King in this epic rivalry? Joe Coffey versus Jordan Devlin 2. Of course, Gallus are banned from ringside. Joe Coffey comes out rocking Jordan Devlin's jacket. I mean, not many get away with that. Devlin sprints to the ring during Coffey's entrance and knocks him down. Coffey catches himself, but Devlin scoops him with a short spear who slams back first into the apron. Devlin enters the ring with a cutter. Both men head to no man's land. Devlin comes crashing down with avalanche, belly-to-belly suplex from Coffey. Devlin is reading with Coffey with overpowering fists. Coffey charged up enough energy for Glasgow's send-off, and Devlin returns the favour with a beautiful 450 splash, but still not enough. He whips out his Devlin side finisher, and now that does the trick. The Irish Ace has taken down the Iron King. What we all
this match is what I come to from these two. You know, like you said, it's been a great rivalry so far, and individually, what they've been able to do since I've been watching, and even Devlin before I started reviewing regularly, just great, two great wrestlers, and they have great chemistry together, obviously. And you know, they were given plenty of time also to do what they do best, man. So you can say what you will about Devlin, but in the ring, he is special. This encounter with Coffey was no exception. And like you said, Joe Coffey, awesome. I haven't seen a bad Coffey match. I'm a fan, and I enjoyed this, man. This is a nice little. I don't know if it's over, but this was a nice little wrap to that feud. So it was cool.
This is a great main event. Devlin left at 1-1 and looked like a main eventer. So it's all kind of, and like I said, Coffey loses nothing in the loss. All right, on to the next episode, NXT UK, October 28th, my birthday edition, actually. And I fucking hate the new NXT UK theme. I mean, I fucking hate
I noticed it. I was like, is that new? Like, it was weird to me. You know, I didn't even, I was like, what is this? And I can do without it, but you know.
it's when they've got a good like Impact at the moment, they've got a good theme, and I know they're going to change it, the absolute, and that's what NXT UK have done. But anyway, on with the show. We've got Mark Coffey versus Rohan Raja.
Found something 2.0 has over
UK. Well, to be fair, I think that's going to be a discussion for another day about the state of wrestling themes, you know. Like, even in my head the other day, this is Rampage. And I was going, is that really what we've come to?
Yeah, it's bad. It's pretty bad. Even I don't even like the fuse. I mean, I get it. It's fine, but I don't too much care for it. So, I get it.
Yeah, anyway, we move on. Mark Coffey, Rohan Raja, and they exchange standard switches for Mark takes Rohan down with a straight armbar. Rohan hits an arm breaker for focus on the injured arm of Mark, who comes back with a clothesline, Uranagi, and a diving bulldog, or pinning Rohan with a sliding uppercut, wins. After the match, Rohan and the team attack Gallus before they're separated by official. Gallus have been the backbone of NXT UK since the very, very start. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. And like you said, since the very start, and even like I thought, like before fans came back, also they leaned heavily on them, and they're continuing it now with the crowd that's there. And I thought this was a solid leadoff match, man. It wasn't too much, wasn't too special, but it wasn't bad either, you know. And it was brief, kind of, to me, but at the same time, you know, we obviously Gallus and Tillman's family are going to have more encounters coming. So based on that attack after the match, so I was cool with this, and I was ready to see what was going to happen next.
Yeah, without doubt. I like Tillman and the family gimmick, actually. I think Rohan looked fine. A nice hard-hitting opener. Ciscala announced there'll be a triple threat match for the new number contender for its UK tag team titles. We see Charlie Dempsey's being interviewed for Gallus fought by and so they're looking for Tillman. And then we get Amel versus Myla Grace. And, of course, Amel making her debut. She's returned after a little while, as it was, hitting a swinging Fisherman's net breaker before Myla hit a tornado fall. Davenport comes down to ringside for Amel, drops Myla with a boot. Amel then pins Myla with a hope breaker for the pin and the win. This wasn't a bad match, more about Amel and just saying she's building her back up again.
Yeah, this is about getting her back on the right track. After the Amelia McKenzie, after that situation, and also the loss to Mako. So, and I like this match. I thought Grace fought Amel off as long as she could. And it wasn't even bad. And she had her moments also, but like you said, it was all about Amel here, and she, overcoming her and getting back on the right track. And with Blair Davenport taking interest, I literally was excited to see what that meant. But as the weeks went by, I started to see that she was just going to start popping up everywhere. You'll see soon. But here we go.
Backstage, Nina Samuels interviews Leah James as we go to commercial. I'm really digging. What I think would make it even better if she had a little puppet sidekick. Just slightly early night, so go, hello everybody, I love you, Nina. I think that would just so work. Anyway, we see Flash Morgan Webster trying to cheap shot Rampage Brown before he put him up against a wall. He said if he wanted a match, all he had to do was ask. Brown didn't want to piss about, did he? Really?
I loved it. It's like they told him before. We're gonna have Flash Morgan Webster, and he just stopped him right there. Like, no, he's not slapping me. We can do this the other way. We can do this another way.
It's just good stuff. And then Charlie Dempsey
versus
great. Danny Jones. Charlie controls Danny with a cravat on the mat before Danny comes back with a hip toss and an uppercut. Danny locks in a bow and arrow before Charlie turns it into a pin attempt, locking in a standing armbar and sending Danny into the turnbuckle. Charlie then hits a snap suplex before hitting a butterfly suplex into a variation of a crossface chicken wing for the pin and the win. What are your thoughts?
Everything Dempsey does just looks like it hurts like hell. Like it does. Like it just don't matter. Like every little move. It's no wasted motion from Dempsey, man. I loved it. No flash needed. He goes right at you from the start. And, he don't have usual, like, even though I think Danny Jones is fine, and I thought, this is probably like a squash match to establish Dempsey some more, which it was, but it's not your usual one. It's kind of like this first match when, still a competitive technical contest, but at the same time, the way he does it, the way he wins, he's just so impressive, and the way he just looks so vicious while at the same time everything looking crisp and cool. Like I said, the future is Charlie Dempsey, and this match, even like 3 matches into his career now in NXT UK, it's obvious that he got big things on the way. It's obvious.
Without doubt. First off, nice work by Danny, but not since the greats like Jackie Pallo and Mcguinness and even Johnny Saint has this style been worked so well by Danny. And for me, it's so enjoyable to watch. Very, very effective. The people going on about, Bryan Danielson, the kind of way he's working at this moment in time as well. Like I said, with Dempsey, that start I could watch all day long. And I think that's a part why the NXT UK means so much for me as well. We get Miko Satomura and challenger Ginny next week with a video package and also a video package for Isla Dawn as well. And then the main event, NXT UK Heritage Cup Championship match, Tyler Bate versus Noam Dar. And round 1 starts off with the two fully lock and exchange wrist locks before Tyler locks in a cravat and takes Noam down before he gets to his feet and takes Tyler down with a side headlock takeover. And one of the things I was thinking here was Dar mind games, because you think with certain wrestlers, they're known for this, but Dar, it's got to be up there with how he gets in the wrestler's head.
Yeah, I don't know, like you said, it's not the usual type. It's not the whole. It's not the. I know they used to always say Undertaker play mind game. It's different ways to do it. I think they even said Bray Wyatt. A lot of the creepy stuff he did with mind game. It's all types of ways. Everything he does is just so good, and it's like he gets right under your skin in the best way. possible. But like I love it. Like you said, the little games he played, whether it's something he says, whether it's mannerism, whether it's interference from the outside, you know, whether it's stepping on your foot or whatever it is, like he will do whatever he has to do to get an advantage, and I enjoy that.
Well, round 2, we see Tyler take Noam down before Noam backs to the ropes, and Tyler and him exchange headlocks and wrist locks before Tyler hits a brief airplane spin and they clothesline each other. I fucking loved that. I honestly, that moment when they get up and look at each other as well, it's just really, really good stuff. Round 3, Noam immediately gets out the ring and back in and hits a Nova Roller for the pin and the first fall to end the round. Dar goes 1-0 up. Round 4, Tyler hangs on in the early going, but he somehow managed to turn it around, running shooting star press and hitting a rebound clothesline. But Noam counters the Tyler driver. Tyler then hits his finisher on the second attempt for the pin to even things at 1-1, leading into round 5. Noam rips Tyler off the top, hits a sliding uppercut, and takes Tyler down with kicks as Tyler rocks him with a spinning back fist before Shah distracts Tyler and the ref. Noam drops Tyler for 2 before Tyler locks in a knee bar and the 2 exchange strikes as the round end. Talk about saved by the bell. And I will say that Shah is a much better cornerman than Trent. Like, Trent was doing fuck all.
Yes.
Shah was so into it.
My goodness. He don't even compare. Like, and you know what? And that plays a little bit into what's going to happen later. But yeah, man, it's a straight contrast. And I didn't even think about that until you just mentioned it. But it was a contrast on the outside when it comes to the coaches and their involvement in this match.
Well, round 6, the final round, the 2 run at each other as soon as the bell rings and exchange strikes until Noam drops Tyler and Tyler meets Noam up top, hitting a suplex and Dar rolling out the ring. Tyler hit a suicide dive and tossed Noam back in, but he rolls the opposite side.
What a dive it was.
Without a doubt. I mean, there's some stuff this guy can do, but Tyler takes out Shah, and I told you he's a better man because he's getting involved. He tosses Noam back inside a second time. Noam counters the Tyler driver and a rebound lariat into a knee bar. Tyler suplex and pretty deadly come out to ringside and distract Tyler before getting into a fight with Trent. And somehow, I mean, 9 times out of 10, the way it works, you would not be able to throw a towel that hard behind you if you intended
that far.
To. But again, I was looking at it and I'm going, do you know what? I don't really like the finish in a certain way, but I do. Because Dar wins the new Heritage Cup champion. And like I said on the second viewing, I actually quite like it. I think great facials all round. And even Trent going, oh, fuck.
Oh, no, right. It was perfect. And that's why I loved it. Like, I'm with you. Like, you know, to talk about most of the match, like I said, I love the first 2 rounds, settling you into the match. But you know, like cup matches, the intensity just ramped up. And at the end, when they were staring each other down by the end of the second round, you could tell that okay, they're about to go for it. And then when round 3 began, Dar exploded, and they just went into another gear, and they never really stopped until we got to that finish. You know, and I like it. It was beautiful to me, man. It played into both stories. You know, the week before, Dar just told him that 7 was dead weight. Basically, that 7 was going to be the reason why you weren't holding the trophy anymore. And for the mistake to kind of play out the way it did with Pretty Deadly's involvement, you know, and it just seemed like to me at the time they could be teasing the downfall of Mustache Mountain and the beginning of a new era now for the Supernova. And, you know, I'm biased. I was going for Dar from the beginning, but I thought the way that match ended and with Dar ending up as not only the tournament winner, but the new Heritage Cup champion, I thought it made up for all the lackluster UK shows we had to get through, or those lackluster Heritage Cup matches. You know, when Dragunov wasn't around, anything that I thought was lackluster, this finish made up for it from the Heritage Cup to me, from the Heritage Cup tournament for me. So I thought it was worth it, and I thought this was cool.
And the thing is, as well, what's crazy is, you know, you talk about your 25-minute match. That's how you make a classic match. But these guys, yes, it's 6 rounds, but you're only 3 minutes. And to do so much and to make excitement. And there's a little thing I love at the moment, later on with Dar, and it's the kind of the boxing way of hanging in there.
Yes.
It's just, I love it. I just can't get enough.
Yeah. And I can't believe when it started, I was hearing a lot of people who did not like, and some people may still not like the Heritage Cup, format. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. I love it. Like you said, the drama that you can get done in just, like you said, 18, 20 minutes, maybe. Oh my goodness. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It really is good stuff. What a match. Anybody listening to this who's not seen it, go and watch that now. Next episode, November 4th, the final boss battle. And of course, Sheppard and Mcguinness are on commentary. Our first match is Flash Morgan Webster versus Rampage Brown. And Brown continued to flex his muscles for quite a period of time in this bout. Webster is lucky he hasn't snapped in two yet, I suppose. Brown was looking for a gut wrench, but Webster quickly turns it into a guillotine. Brown breaks it by slamming Webster back first in the turnbuckle. Webster sees an opportunity to connect and hits a perfect tornado DDT. He soars off the top with shadows of malice, but it isn't enough to keep the big man down. Brown secures a pinfall victory after hitting his deadly Dr. Bomb. What were your thoughts on this?
Yeah, man, this was I love the week before, like I mentioned earlier, Brown telling Webster, basically that you get hurt like that if you just keep slapping people, or you think you're just gonna slap me or whatever. And this was Webster getting hurt. You know what I mean? And I looking at this story, and I think you can look at this whole entire story with Flash Morgan Webster two ways. You can either think he's tough as nails and he's showing his toughness, hanging with people that he may be overmatched against or whatever. Or he's somebody who really hates himself because of the punishment he's been forced to endure because he keeps slapping people in the face. But just, whatever. It depends on how you want to look at it. Either way it go, I like this match, man. And I thought Webster showed some, I thought he earned a little, especially some respect from me as a viewer, but he definitely should have earned everyone in the locker room respect lasting the way he did, because it was definitely a fun ride. But, Brown prevailing, I don't think was ever in doubt.
Oh, no. Like I said, it's a Brown showcase, but a nice comeback from Webster, who did try to kill Rampage for that suicide dive DDT as well. But Webster himself had a massive red mark on the back, and it came from being thrown on the ropes. I went around it and had a look, and I was like, shit, you forget about the ropes.
Right,
and then, just getting thrown on it and a massive red mark. But like I said, really, really good opener. We then see Mika Sutmore and Apoche McKenzie doing last-minute preparations. And after pretty deadly cost Tyler Bates his championship, Trent Seven finds Bates and tells them they're now going to be part of the fatal match next week. Bates' reaction, man. I mean, I'll sleep with his girlfriend if he reacts like that. Come on, dude. Like, don't... It's not like... I've just robbed your house. Like, yeah, man, no, that's fine. No, don't worry.
Yeah, he was just so casual. I did not understand it, and I'm just like, that's the reason why I keep saying they're teasing it, but it's definitely going to come from Seven. It's not going to come from Bates if they do break up, because he is very, very calm about all of this.
Trent Seven just beat you up and attacked.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine.
We're still friends. No, you're not friends. He doesn't like it.
No, you're not. He keeps saying when he's referencing chasing the tag team titles, and he just not even noticing. Doesn't even matter. I don't get it.
Well, we see Zara Brookside finally sits Sculler in his office, and after she's shot at the NXT UK Women's title after Satmore and G doesn't think she has enough victories to become the next tender, so she calls her dad Robbie Brookside to see what she can do.
Yes.
Again.
Oh my god, I love it. I loved it so much. I was like, I know this grown ass woman did not just call her father. It popped me. It really did. I was not ready for her to react like that.
It's what we need, exactly. Then Isla Dawn versus Angel Hayes. And Dawn holds power over Hayes as the match gets going. Hayes ducks an attack from Dawn in the corner, but Dawn rocks Hayes with a backdrop. She grabs hold of Hayes' hair, starts to pull some strands out, as you do. The referee finds this uncalled for, decides to call for a disqualification.
And poor Isla, poor Danny and Luna. I could have sworn she got a whole lock pulled out weeks back. But anyway, I don't remember the match being stopped because of that. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, no, what I quite liked is that she took the trinkets and obviously has some effect, because she took something from Danny Luna and used Danny Luna's move in this match. So it's kind of like she's taken their power. or not.
I know, yeah.
Maybe
or
we're
not. Right.
Maybe we're looking too much
Right.
into it, but I thought that.
Or not, yeah. Maybe we don't know what the hell we're talking. She's from Devil's Pulpit, Scotland. Have you ever been there?
Yes,
ever,
just next to
like
Glasgow. Quite nice. Yeah, quite cold this time of year.
I've never seen a match actually get stopped because of hair pulling. I've always seen referees warn you, but it's nice to see a referee actually do more than warn someone this time. I give him that. You know what I mean?
I know. This is the thing. This is the British way. And speaking of Great Britons, we see Sam Gradwell is sick and tired of hearing all about A-Kid and how the media likes to sing his praises. What a yogurt!
In Spain. This is so ludicrous to me. Why are you like? Did Gradwell speak Spanish that I didn't know about? Because he's watching. He's watching Spain media, and it's just ticking him off that he's not in Spain. Like, is he mad that he's getting an interview in general, or is he mad that he's not making it not as big in Spain as the Spanish guy? I don't know.
Sam watching it and A-Kid going, Sam Gradwell. What did he just say? He just said my name, did he? We see Stevie Turner interrupt an interview the crew is doing with Subculture. Danny Luna tells 30 seconds. I do know the character, but again, that's a battle for another day. But we hear from
I got one for you later. Go ahead.
We hear from the Tsar next. Yes, Ilya Dragunov addresses the universe. The fighting champion is here, and the fans give him a warm welcome with a round of claps. He said it's heartwarming to show his son that his dad can conquer anything he sets his mind to. He compliments A-Kid for pushing 3 weeks ago, and now he's the face of NXT UK. He wants being a reigning and defending champion. The question is, who would accept? Well, who comes out? Another Rampage Brown. They see the mad Russian with glee in his eyes accept Brown's invitation for a title shot. And just as Dragunov puts his hand out for shake, Brown takes it upon himself to throw the champion down with a nasty lariat. He grabs the title and holds it up proudly. And it's all about the chase. It's all about the chase when it comes to a face champion. But I'm genuinely pleased to see Ia with the belt. His son is happy for him, unlike Josh Alexander's kid. But what do you think of Rampage Brown coming in and making his statement?
Poor Alexander. Just crush his dreams.
I hate you, Dad.
Dragunov come out flexing. Yeah, my son is happy because I'm a champion. All right, just watch out. Alexander might be looking for Dragunov for that one. Anyway, this is great, man. And I really love Dragunov as champion, and I just love this air, this confidence, the way he's talking now. You know what I mean? When you think about where he's coming from, and where the depths he was mentally, and the confidence that he speaks now, man, I just think it's night and day, and I really love that dynamic. And I think as his reign continues, he's only going to get more confident, and he's probably, if it continues, because Brown is not someone that can be, that you can just overlook, and I really love him as a contender. I enjoy Brown and Volta, and watching Brown work somebody like Volta. Watching two big guys work is always tricky. You never know how it turns out. So just imagine, just like what I enjoyed watching, even though Brown dominated Webster, imagine the dynamics with Brown and Dragunov, because they have a history already. So I'm just saying they're capable of doing something really, really special here. So I'm looking forward to this.
Without doubt, where we see Blair Davenport wishing both Ginny and Satamora good luck because she's just hanging around. We see Tim and Vignette round the table talking about fighting the eye. He's watching. I've actually done the eye signal whilst we talk. I thought this is really well produced, and Tieman's is saying the character that's grabbed me in time. And after hearing Nathan Fraser wants a match with him, Mark Andrew decides he'll give him a match, that is. And now it's the main event. It's NXT UK Women's Championship. Mika Satamura versus Ginny. And both women whip up some fiery strikes and roll back into Satamura's favour. Satamura lays out some stiff kicks, but is it enough for her to grab the thing in the bag? Ginny surprises final boss with the facelift for a close near fall, dragging Satamura to the centre ring and locking a single leg Boston Crab. Satamura does manage to get to the rope and build some momentum again with a high angle frog splash. Ginny finds the bottom rope for Satamura can fully look at an arm trap crossface, and Ginny capitalises the distraction for Joseph Connors and digs up a touch of couture. She was so close, but no cigar. Satamura finishes her off with a brutal Scorpio rising axe kick, followed by the Death Valley powerbomb to retain the championship. What were your thoughts?
I'm not sure about Jenny's history, as a title contender in NXT UK, but man, she belongs on this stage. And the final balls, we all, like I said, I know she's good, and I think she just continued to show what she usually shows, not only since she's become champion, but since coming to WWE, and like over her long career, she's always been really, really solid. I always kind of get happy. It makes me feel a little old, but I always get happy when I see the little clip of her in WCW back in the day. It's always cool when you think about that. But anyway, besides that, Jenny, back to the focus of what I was going to say. Jenny is just so good technically, man, and just like the facial expressions, I think probably overall she's the most impressive woman to me besides the champion on the roster since I've started doing these reviews with you. So, this match was just a really good example of why too, and I'm really high on Jenny as a wrestler, man. And both of these women, they left it all in the ring, and I think with Connors not really able to get involved, I was kind of worried that he would get too involved. I was kind of happy that they kept it to like one spot with McKenzie. So, other than that one spot, that made this match even better to me. So this was almost classic level good shit to me. I really liked it.
Well, I'm just glad they don't let Connors wrestle anymore because, like I said, I really like these two. Ginny can be nasty, and it's something that you don't see a lot. The technical exchanges were great. Ginny with a suplex on the mat again, brilliant. Which again you don't see a lot. And Ginny was doing all right till she decided to trade strikes, a fucking idiot. So that's what's going to happen. But like I said, a great main event, and we move on 11th November. And again, the first match, Nathan Mark and we come into the match. There's a pivotal moment coming for Fraser when he ropes and drags Andrews down with a beautiful Spanish fly. He misses a corkscrew moonsault plancher and walks right into a stun dog millionaire. Andrews can be caught in the closing second of the bout when he hits his fall to pieces shooting stars and stacks Fraser in a cradle pin for the victory. Just watch this match is all I put.
Yes, I agree. Like I honestly, I wrote a lot more, but it's just like, these are just two awesome athletes, man, from the beginning. I came into this match like, yeah, the possibilities were great. And then they just went out there and outdid what I was expecting going into it. The pace of this match. Like, literally, like you said, just watch it and you will see from the beginning to the end, they were really, really moving. And then from a storytelling standpoint, the upstart coming so close to overcoming the more established Andrews, man, I feel like this is how I think NXT 2.0, people who are creative, they should watch stuff like this, and this is how you get someone who's a newer face. This is how you get them quicker, or get them over quicker to me than just squash matches every week. And I'm not trying to take a shot at 2.0, but I'm just saying this is a perfect example of a great way of getting a new face over. You know what I mean? Just letting them show what they can do in a long form type match with another great established athlete. And I think this was just a great example of it.
Yeah, like I said, these two guys are great. And Mandrews won, which is the first time in fucking ages as well.
Right.
Anyway, we see Sam Gradwell, who has some from A-Kid. This week, A-Kid interrupts Gradwell's interview and calls him out for a match. He calls him a yogurt. Well, from A-Kid,
yes,
actually,
beat him to it.
It's a joggurt. But again, I'm not complaining.
Did you see how agitated Grant was? And I was like, I know you love that. He was so mad. Like, no, that's my line.
It's just money. I would just have it all day long. We see Pretty Deadly having some fun and learn how to move and groove like the guys from Magic Mike. He did that sideplex check. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, this is hilarious.
Oh my god, you couldn't get away with it in certain places, but it is good. Kenny Williams is seen writing a message about Charles Samuels. Williams and the production crew hear a bunch of racket coming from Saxon Huxley. Williams tries to tell him to quiet down, and then Stevie tells Danny Luna Turner bridges out and turns the things around with a brief Lufez press. She stays on top of Luna with three Amigo suplexes and a net breaker. Luna latches on with a snap suplex followed by a powerbomb and march forward for the pinfall victory. It's not bloody 4D, is it? What are your thoughts?
Her explanation of what 4D was I'm 2 steps ahead and 2 steps or whatever. It was dumb. It was dumb. Okay, I don't even remember it all off the top of my head, but I really had to get that off my chest. So I really am starting to understand why you don't like her, especially if that's what it's supposed to be. But anyway. This match was solid too. Luna is impressive as always. But I do also gotta say this: another loss for Turner, and whatever being Foley does for you, it obviously is not. It don't mean consistent winner. It doesn't mean that. So, whatever.
Honestly, but at least Danny's picking up some momentum.
Yes.
We get all 4 teams playing for the number one contendership match. It'll be main event. Nina Samuels gets herself in trouble when she starts talking smack about Aaliyah James. To her dismay, James hears the whole thing, tells Sam she's got to talk to Sid Scala about a match. Not a match!
She already has a show to come up with every week.
Gallus plan to prove their alliance is stronger than Team and Rohan Raja. Blair Davenport runs into a victorious Danny Luna, who feels beneath her. She refused to celebrate Luna's winning efforts. And now on the main event, so who will secure the spot of Pretty Deadly's newest challengers? It's Dave Massive and Jack Stars, Ashton Smith, Oliver Carter, Mustache Mountain, and Symbiosis. We see Bate catches Primate Jack Stars with a double airplane spin. Star deadlift 7 and says and crash with a powerbomb in the corner. Master's working on Oliver Carter. Ashton Smith lies over to save Carter. Both of them join forces with a doomsday cutter on Matt. Bate dives to the outside. 7 runs in to hit 7 Stars Lariat and Primate, but he can't keep him down. He looks to Tyler Bate to finish things off. And the match ends when Bate and 7 come together with an assisted flying knee, burning hammer combo, and they've earned their spots at the next challenge of the NXT UK Tag Championship. What were your thoughts?
Look at what finished this match: a flying knee, burning hammer combo. Anyway, like I said, this match was absolutely incredible to me. I enjoyed it. Was a lot going on. I think that's just what happens when you're going to have all these teams involved. But it was fun. Like you said, everyone was going for broke, it felt like. And even though I kind of knew once Mustache Mountain was added to the match, it'd probably be unlikely they'd lose, not only because they are who they are, but, they're the only team here that actually had some type of active story going on, or at least felt like they would even threaten kind of Pretty Deadly. I don't think any of the other teams would actually be a threat to winning that title match. So, and I think them winning also kind of may be a showcase that kind of reinforced that this is the depthness of their tag division, may be their weak point. Maybe NXT UK's only weak point is that they don't really have the deepest or the most diverse tag division. But another Mustache Mountain Pretty Deadly match. I don't think we can go wrong. We're going to have fans there now, so people can actually appreciate it, straight up. So I have no problem with that. But I do think that Mustache Mountain getting the win so quick after the involvement with the other story and all of that, I think it kind of shows that, they don't necessarily have the deepest, because it wasn't that long ago we were talking about Mustache Mountain and Pretty Deadly 1. So I have to be fair. But this still was a fun way to get to that match, because at least they earned it, right? At least they earned their title shot, and it's not an automatic restart.
Well, this is the thing, and one of the things we talk about the depth of the division, and we got Gallus in the background, of course.
Of course, Gallus.
Team and
subculture,
But the thing about NXT UK that I still love, it is like the old 1 hour NXT.
Yes.
Each week focused on a different division. We've had the Heritage, the wins, it's a tag,
true.
And this was another great main event. The only hope is that we can get a takeover in the UK to pay off or have a stage set for these matches,
Yeah, I agree. That'll be the best way. That's the next step in taking it over the top, is to get back to the takeovers for NXT UK. Or, to have some, or have 1 or 2, big shows for them to throw in between. But I do love that. That's one thing that I love the most about this. It reminds me of those days when, like you said, early NXT, back in the Neville and the TJ Tyson Kidd days of NXT and other, even before that, Sami Zayn's and all of that, So, yeah, it definitely reminds me, especially in the way it's paced. And I'll get to that when we talk about how I feel about UK overall. But, yeah, I do love that. And I think, like you said, the shift in focus it allows everybody to get as much time as possible to be like you said, the main event, the main focus. So I do love that element.
I think without a doubt. And then a bit in news, we got a tweet from Flash Morgan Webster saying he's been fighting surgery for 3 years. Since then, he's had NXT UK Tag Team Championships. He's been on Raw, Takeover Ladder match, a Dusty Classic, inaugural Heritage Cup tournament, Subculture Run, all done with a torn labrum. Time to get it fixed, and hopefully he can come back to a recovery. But then again, you wrestle for that long, you've probably done a little bit more damage, which is a shame. But Subculture, maybe, do they need to go away as a tag team and come back a little bit fresher?
I think possibly. I think splitting, not necessarily splitting them up, but a break from it, or maybe even just letting Mark get back to singles action, while he's out, can be a fresh air, and they can come back and try to do something again, or even tell more stories together. Who knows? I think Subculture is definitely in need of that, or maybe more Danny Luna focus. Also, is another cool way to keep them together, or necessarily keep the image of them alive, but they don't necessarily have to be always together on television. So, yeah, I think it's creative ways around it. But it's crazy when you mention all that, when he mentions all that stuff he did in between, and then you just have a match with Rampage, and it's time to. I can only imagine what's like the pre-match and the post-match, what it's been like for him. Just being, getting ready for each match, just daily life. 3 years walking around with an injury like that, I don't recommend it, but yeah, I hope he's back sooner than later.
Well, the penultimate episode of NXTUK, of course, Andy Sheppard and Nigel Mcguinness, and we kick things off with the Spanish Sensation and the Thunderstorm. Yes, it's A-Kid versus Sam Gradwell. Gradwell slams A-Kid across the face with a malicious forearm to even the odds. A-Kid pops up and ensnares an armbar, and Gradwell pulverizes him on the mat with a powerbomb. The bounce spills to the outside. Gradwell planting the back into the ring. A-Kid slides back into the 8th count. Gradwell turns off his cup champion inside out with a ruthless lariat. But A-Kid sees an opening from Gradwell by trapping him with another armbar, and Gradwell has nowhere to turn. He taps, giving A-Kid the victory. Yogurt. Sam always fucking loses. This was a great opener, though. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it was a good ride to get there, though, man. This match was just another fun A-Kid match for me. There's another guy another person like Jenny, obviously Dragon off, and like a lot of people that's from NXT UK. Of course, Noam Dar, another person who's just grown on me, or someone that I really, really look forward to seeing when he's on display. And this is another reason why it was just really, really cool match to me. And I thought Gradwell, your boy Gradwell, I know you like him, and I think he's entertaining, but it's cool to get a chance to see more of what he can do also. And I thought this was well done by both competitors. I didn't think he looked a step behind or anything. And, and I thought Gradwell actually came away from this one looking good. If you think about it, I don't think he loses anything, or, he doesn't look bad for losing. Of course, he loses a lot, but he doesn't look bad for losing to a guy like A-Kid. So, it was positive for both guys to me, the way this played out. But it was definitely a fun match.
Or just imagine a world where A-Kid has got Sam Gradwell's personality. Like, that is a total package.
Yeah, and I think that's what happens. It's the same thing, and I'm not trying to say Finn is not charismatic, because I actually think if given given the chance, especially the way what we saw in that recent run in NXT, Finn Balor can be entertaining personality-wise. That's another thing. Like, you give Finn Balor, you got the looks, you got the abs, you got everything. You know what I mean? And then personality, the same thing goes with A-Kid. Got the look. I think he can do everything in the ring that you could ask him to do and more. But, personality-wise, yeah, you're begging for more. But that's how it works. It's weird how it goes. Some people got it and some people, don't,
Without a doubt. We find out that Ilya Dragunov will have a title defense against Rampage Brown Weeks, which will bring you on the January NXT UK report. But I'm laughing now because we're going to have 8 episodes. But it sounds a lot, but we are doing 6 here. And look how much, we said we're on the last one. So they do fly by.
Truthfully, I could save everything, let them all store on the cock, as I call it. And I could, because we have Peacock over here.
Yeah, I was about to say, explain.
I have to explain it for you guys. I'm sorry, I forgot. You guys are still WWE networkers, so that you guys still have it good. We have Peacock in America, so we call it the cock. I know that's kind of one way to put it, but it's fun. It's a fun way. It's a fun thing to me. But anyway, sometimes you got to search the cock for good content, and this is NXT UK is definitely that. But it's also quick to watch. Like I said, I can get 6 hours, man. That's 6 shows, like you just said. There's no time, and that's 2 Raws, guys.
That's what you say it like that.
Think about it. Yeah. So we're good.
Yeah, no, to be fair, when you say it like that. But we see the Mad Russian isn't sweating against Rampage, Brown, Val and J champion. And then Leah James versus Nina Samuels. Yes, they're forcing her to wrestle. Samuels counters. God damn it. Counters out of a cartwheel. James sends Samuels face first onto the mat with a trip toe hold, but Samuels presses her boots down on James's hand, traps her with a stretch. She maintains control as Samuel drags James to the center and bends her leg into a excruciating position. James lands a dropkick and formulates a major upshot as she rolls Samuels up into a small package and earns the pinfall victory. And James getting another big win in NXT UK.
Yeah.
And Nina is so fake and deluded. I love it.
Yes, and I have to say it's best up they making her do it, but it was nice to see Nina take some time away from her hosting gig to make Aaliyah stomp on her own head. I mean,
yeah, I was gonna say
that spot was awesome, dog. Like,
to kick yourself in the head, yeah.
Yeah, kick yourself in the head, and then like the back break, like 3, 4 in a row. Like I was like, oh god, okay. Nina need to wrestle and host. Like I get it. Like they overworking her, but she is a superwoman, man. Like hosting the show of that quality, and then coming out to do this, like man. Anyway, Aaliyah James impressed me with her selling. And a couple of moves she got in, like I think it was a nice Hurricane Rana a couple of times, one in there that I like. So I really like what James is showing me so far. And right now they kind of, she's on a roll. You know what I mean? And that was cool. And it was a shock victory, another one. And like I said, I don't like roll ups, but I don't mind it when it shocks me. And a good, especially when it's a young, a tenured character versus someone who's a new face. I like it. So it's just something to keep an eye on going forward, man.
Well, backstage, the new Heritage Cup champion Noam Dar gets interrupted by Sam Gradwell. Dream match, I will say. Just minutes. And then people listening for the very first time, I am not joking. Like, these are 2 guys. Yeah. I absolutely love.
It's my favorite versus your favorite, by the way.
Bring it on. We know who's going to win then. But anyway,
it's rigged.
Just minutes after a big win against Nina Samuels, Leah James tells the next UK reporter how much that victory meant. Once she leaves the interview, she walks right into Isla Dawn, who blindly ambushes her. What a nice way to celebrate.
Yeah. Just, oh my goodness, walk right into impeccable timing, by the way. And then I did love the cameraman and the interviewer, like, oh, let's get help after the fact. That was a nice little touch to the interview too, because sometimes I wonder in wrestling, like, the cameraman is a person too. You just be watching messed up stuff happen sometimes, and you just keep recording, like the guy who kept recording Austin got ran over.
Yeah, to be fair. Well, it happens to the best of us, I suppose. Up next, Saxon Huxley versus Kenny Williams. And Williams keeps Huxley grounded. Huxley tosses Williams out the ring like a rag doll. But once he returns, he hits on. Huxley starts to find himself in the middle of this bout with a big cross. He ducks underneath the ring and sneaks up behind him with an unruly right hand. And Williams ends this thing with his bad luck finisher. I really dig this scum of the earth character. But they're kind of pushing towards cockroach, and of course we've talked about cock before. You're starting setting up your own jokes. So what do you think of cockroach?
Oh man, scum. I don't know, man. I think I would prefer to be scum than a roach, but I feel you. I don't know. Maybe which one's worse? Scum, roaches, guys? Anyone? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not
Let's
sure.
do the poll. This week's poll, ladies and gentlemen.
Would you rather be scum or cockroach? I'm not sure how I feel about Huxley as a character. You know what I mean? The yelling, I don't really understand the wild. I guess he got a wild man thing going on, but in the ring here, he was solid. You know, and of course he's in there with the scum of the earth, fighting the only way scum can fight, and I do love that. That's the one thing like you said, he is looking, you know, as low as you can get, but I enjoy it because is like you get what you at least he's not false promoting anything. He's literally telling you he's a piece of trash. So you expect the worst from a piece of trash. So I don't mind it. But anyway, it also made me have sympathy for Huxley here sometimes. And he's the bigger man. So, you know, sometimes in a smaller, bigger man contest, it's hard to get that. But, you know, Kenny Williams is growing on me, honestly, with every review. Every review, we have at least one or two Kenny Williams matches. And I think he's growing on me. Exactly.
It's not like, you know, shoved down our throats, but he's there in, like I said, every month, like we do, featured a little bit, just slowly building. And he bumped around like Mr. Perfect in this match as well. So, you know, for credit to him. We get Zara Brookside arriving at the BT Sports studio. She's late for her training. She provides a note to her coach on why she can't train. Right now, it's focusing on getting an NXT UK Women's title shot. Again, this just works, especially when she first signed. A lot of, you know, the rumours, as we spoke about earlier on the news as well, you know, nepotism and stuff like this, you're going to have to work harder, you know, might get in the foot in the door, but to be able to play off that storyline works.
Yeah, I love it. And it's just like, it's so, like, the entitlement. I love that. I love that being played into, like you said, because it's there. You know, you have to work harder, or at least that's what, you know, in some cases, that's what they want you to believe. So, yeah, I love the nepotism angle. I love the name dropping. I love, like you said, feeling like the privilege that she's exuding. I think it can play into a really strong character if they keep building it the way they're doing. And it seems like they're going to take their time with it, too. And, you know, so I can't wait to see what that turns into.
Without a doubt. Now the main event, Gallus, Mark Coffey and Wolfgang versus Tiemann and Raja. Wolfgang kick things off. And Wolfgang maintains leadership with a tight wrist lock for his corner. And they kind of ground him for a little bit as well. Coffey keeping him down, and a hot tag back to Wolfgang. Tiemann and Raja join force on the outside, but an unmerciful set of stomps and forearm smashes on Mark Coffey. Tiemann and Raja continue covering off, and Wolfgang comes in hot with a double axe handle on Raja. The onslaught continues with a crossbody. Wolfgang starts feeling the effects of Tiemann and makes a desperate tag to Coffey. And while Gallus is taking care of Tiemann and Raja, Charlie Dempsey sneaks out and surprises Joe Coffey with an unexpected attack. Looks like his allegiance lies with Tiemann and Raja. And thanks to Dempsey's distraction, Tiemann and Raja earn the main event victory. And after the match, they pummel Gallus as concludes. Well, what are your thoughts? Because I thought this was brilliant.
Yeah, this was cool, man. This is what Gallus is known for as far as the work. I thought no matter the choice of the members, they have really good to great tag matches. And before Dempsey even got involved, you know, I thought this was on the verge of being a really good tag, a really good tag match. So, and then the ending just made it perfect, in my opinion. Like you said, they teased it really, really well beforehand that Dempsey obviously was going to have a problem with Gallus. And we knew that Gallus had this thing going on with Tiemann and Raja, but I don't think I connected the dots that Dempsey could have been this new mysterious, because, you know, Tiemann for a while has been talking about not only is the IO, but he's also been teasing that it's going to be more. It's a family. If it's a family, it got to be more than just Raja, right? So, you know, I don't know. Is Dempsey now a part of the family? You know what I mean? Either way it go, the end of a show like that, I couldn't wait to find out whether it was just Dempsey like, no, screw you guys, y'all been interrupting me, I don't like being interrupted, or if it's, you know, Tiemann and Raja and Dempsey going forward as the family. I don't mind that either, and like I said, I can't wait to find out.
Well, like you said, it's a fun main event, sets the stage for a brand new rivalry, and it's money. Dempsey is part of the family. What's even interesting, not to toot our own horns, but looking back over a 4 to 6 week period, if anybody, would say, oh, Dempsey's a bit of a surprise, there's twice in the past month that Gallus interrupted. Yes. You know, you talk about disrespect, you talk about, and it's stuff that I've only noticed reading it back now and going, oh, right, wait a minute, that pays off later on now, rather than being surprised. No, they did disrespect him. So, and like you said, You know, we need family members to Tierman. Like I said, the eye is always watching. And I just think it's something that maybe we don't have in NXT UK all the time, but it was a bit of a surprise. And that's always good, you know?
Right. And like I said, they did it subtly. You know, it was really subtle. You know, because he made faces, but, you know, you can be annoyed. He was visibly annoyed, but that don't mean you're going to, you know, attack him or seek him out or whatever. But it definitely doesn't mean you're going to join up with Tillman and Raha. But, you know, so it was just teased perfectly the way I think it was done. Like, you can see it was going to be something there that maybe down the line. And you know how, like you mentioned it earlier, NXT UK, the way their schedule works and the way the shows play out, it could be 3 to 4 weeks. It could be something that happened last month that it leads to a match on a current NXT UK show. So, with that being said, you didn't know if it was going to come back and just be a regular match type of feud or if it was going to be something like this. And I think being shocking, inserting him into this feud, and like I said, making it now an even brand new thing, or now maybe possibly a three-way type of thing, like two teams with 3 members, 6-man is what I'm trying to get out for some reason, a 6-man type of thing feud here with the family and Gallus going forward. Like it's beautiful, and I think it was well done, and I think now they have weeks and weeks of more storytelling and television that they can keep adding up to lead to an encounter at some point. So, yeah, man, I like it.
About that. Well, the last NXT UK, 25th of November, and of course, Sheppard and Nigel Mcguinness and Noam Dar kick off the show. Backstage, Flash Morgan Webster told Mark Andrews that he couldn't find her. I imagine he meant Danny. Andrews makes way without the rest of Subculture. It's actually going to be Jordan Devlin versus Mark Andrews to start. Devlin took Andrews to the top rope and tried to set up a Spanish fly, but Andrews hit the Poison Rana. Andrews went for a shooting star, but Devlin got the knees up. Andrews hit the Stun Dog Millionaire, went for a shooting star press again, but Devlin rolled outside, and Andrews insult to her outside. Devlin sent Andrews to the barricade. Andrews managed to beat the referee's count, but Devlin hit the Devlin side for the win. A Poison Rana off the top.
At the beginning of the show, might I add. Like I don't know what it is about the beginning of the show for NXT UK, but they want to keep you watching. I think they do a good job with the first matches of these episodes, just grabbing your attention in some way. And this match was just like that to me. And I was excited as soon as they announced it, first of all, because of the two involved, because, you know, these guys have been two of the best on the roster, you know, for a long time now in NXT UK. So, and this match is exactly why, you know, and Devlin looked like the ace. Andrews fought hard. And I just thought this was enjoyable. I just sat back and I enjoyed this match. And I expected they both delivered, and they did. I expected that they would deliver, and they did. So this was good.
I mean, anybody that's not seen Mark Andrews, like, I'm trying to think, like, maybe a Chris Sabin or someone like that. It's just like a
That's
guy
a good reference.
Who is ultra talented that maybe doesn't get the credit they deserve, but we have seen on the last 6 episodes him putting in 3 the absolute bangers, you know, and it's just that talent that he's got. Pretty Deadly versus Mustache Mountain is in 2 weeks. Of course, we'll catch up with that in January. We get a recap here of Charlie Dempsey aligning himself even with Tierman and Rahan Raja. Gallus cut a promo on Dempsey and challenged them to a match. Kiss on like Donkey Kong. We saw Sam Gradwell being disrupted. We saw Sam Gradwell. I'm sorry, I'm just a bit upset because when Dar and Samuels are there, kind of, it's split loyalties, and I kind of want to laugh at how Gradwell's been treated, but then again, I kind of get upset. Dar and Samuels keeping Gradwell awake with more partying. Again, exactly. I don't know if I love it or hate it. It really is like, so I just don't
Party
know.
Is just for winners.
Well, Gradwell demanded that Siskel make the match, and Dar and Samuels protested to this, and then Johnny Saint arrived.
Oh my God! I finally met the mythical Johnny Saint. Like, I don't think I was so shocked. I was like, "Fuck, really? He's here?" I'm like, You know, my fiance was absolutely confused out of this world because she doesn't watch NXT UK, so she had no clue what the hell I was talking about and who this older white guy was. But I was so excited to see him.
He's alive!
Finally!
What he's saying?
Yes!
He does exist.
He actually exists! Right?
It's not. Sid Scala's not been making it up. He is there with the hand on the shoulder. And lovely moment to see him after being let down, I guess, in an isolation. So, the whole segment, Dar, Gradwell, Saint, again, I could watch this all day long. I would pay for it more than $9.99 a month, you know. We get Leah James making an entrance while we get a recap of Isla Dawn attacking her instead of a hairband last week. Dawn made her entrance complete with a box of trinkets. James used her athleticism to leapfrog over Dawn and hit a drop kick. James went to gain advantage. Dawn pulled her jaw first onto the ropes. Dawn put James in a half straight jacket hold, but James did rally with diving forearms on the crossbody. James came close to her with a small package. Dawn hit the fireman carry side slam for the victory. After the bell, Dawn grabbed her box of trinkets and slid James's hairband back to her. I mean, what are your thoughts on this? I think Dawn would be more serious if she wasn't playing with her box all the time. What?
Good one. That's a good one. Yeah, no, it's true though. It's true. You know, the witch thing I think can just throw you off and not appreciate it, but the work is obviously there. I feel like Aaliyah is running the gauntlet, by the way, during this review. Like, I love it. Fresh opponents every week. You know what I mean? Like it can be done in WWE. You just have to look on the cock for it. Like, you can get a couple of matches, you know, a couple of fresh matches on a weekly basis if you just look on the cock. Just look for it. It's there, right in front of you. In America, go to the network where you ain't, James. This was fine though. I had no problem. They seem to be building the witch towards something. So no roll up win for James, obviously. But yeah, this was cool. I don't know. You know, she was very, very excited with the box. She gave the trinket back. So I don't know if I need to be happy with Isla because she at least gave it back, right? She don't need her power anymore.
She was like,
I don't know.
It worked. But Dawn actually, don't touch my box. Dawn lost some of her hair in this match as well. And then we see Zara Brookside whining to Sid Scala about not having a touch. Whining.
Literally.
That's what it is, whining.
Literally.
Scala granted her the match against Mika Sortmore for next week. She went, it's too soon. It's
too soon. She
brilliant.
Stormed out. Oh my God. She reminded me of a 15, 14-year-old, and it was, like you said, beautiful, brilliant.
I'll tell you what, if we ever go to war, I never want Mustache Mountain. Because if Mustache Mountain to pep talk like they did themselves, they're in fucking, we are going to be champions. Yeah, we are. There you go. That's where we are. And Pretty Dilly are happy about winning for the second time over Mustache Mountain. We see Angel Hayes is in the ring. Danny Luna's entrance music played, but she failed to come to the ring. And Ginny came out and said she made sure Luna wouldn't be able to make the match. Ginny also said her relationship with Joseph Connors. What happened
no, you
there?
celebrated.
Maybe
They didn't have to show it. I don't mind it. Thank goodness.
Well, so I think Volta was like, have you got... Oh, yeah, it's Connors. That doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, get him away. Yeah, who needs him? He's not doing anything anyway.
I will work out more if it impresses you. Anyway, Ginny...
By the way, good job, Volta. Good job, man. I can't... By the way, man. Good job.
It's lovely. Yeah, there could be the royal couple of NXT UK. But Ginny took Hayes down and beat her down for about a minute, I checked. She launched some brutal knees to the ribs. Ginny locked on a rear chin lock. Hayes did look to escape, but Ginny attacked the stomach and hit a driving clothesline, sent Hayes to the corner and hit the makeover for the victory. A squash and a new attitude. Yep. What I want to talk to you about is, we've talked about some division. There are some great heels on NXT UK. When you think about, you kind of got the crazy Dawn, like we got Isla Dawn, who's always fiddling about in the box. You got Ginny, who's just dirty sometimes, whiny Zaya. You got Davenport, who just kind of hang around. You got deluded Nina Samuels. It's everything you need in a heel.
Yeah, I was just about to say, look at what you're pointing out at diversity and different. Like, it's not a lot of the same. I think sometimes even in WWE, even in AEW, other, a lot of the heel, if it is anything heel from the women, is kind of the same. Like, I don't know how many times on the main roster they just dropped the word bitch, and that was just supposed to get a response, and I was supposed to care that or whatever. I guess that meant anything. Like, a lot of the stuff on the main roster at times feels very samey. This is just, like you said, diverse, like as far as heels go, and even their baby faces have like differences. Like you said, you have people in different stages of their career. Like with Sotomore, and then the mentorship with McKenzie, and then like even with Aaliyah James, another newer face. You know what I'm saying? So like they're building something here. Like I told you, NXT UK, and especially with the way that NXT women's division has changed, NXT UK probably has the strongest and most consistent division. Maybe they are protected with the way, like we talked about, the format of these shows, but they're strong up and down the board, if you ask me.
Without a doubt. And speaking of deluded Nina Samuels, she attempted to interview Mika Satomura on the Nina Samuels shows, but Amina McKenzie told her to go away as they were training. And Samuel goes, well, there's the scoop. They're training. That's great. And Blair was in the background.
Blair just chilling.
Exactly. Watching again. You're going, what's she doing? She just
like, why won't they let her wrestle? Like, is that part of her punishment from Sid? You just watch duty for 5-6 weeks in a row.
You have to socially distance against all these women.
Right.
I was there, just 10 meters apart. Anyway, we see
she gets a good check though. That's a good check every week, just to watch what everyone else is doing.
Aaliyah James is working a match every week, and she goes, what the fuck why's Blair there taking the checks? Yep. We see Webster leaving the training room with news of his surgery. Kenny Williams tried to antagonise him, and Mark Andrews told him to watch himself because he wasn't injured. Again, Kenny Williams and Mark Andrews, I'm in. There wasn't a doubt. And now
Mark Andrews is now running the gauntlet.
And now
fresh opponent.
The main event. See a dream match. Sam Gradwell versus Noam Dar in the Heritage Cup rules match for a cool championship. We get right into the action of round one. Dar landed the kill and rewarded himself with a swig of a hip flask Samuels was carrying. Dar took Gradwell down with a headlock and worked the arm of his opponent. Gradwell hit a big scoop slam and hit Dar with his knee brace, and then a fireman carry slam for the pin in the first round. Samuels declared Dar had been knocked out by the knee brace shot. And the way he was out, and like I talked about earlier, Dar's selling of this whole thing. Yeah. And the referee, even Sharp pulling Dar across the ring to make sure he get position. Right. It was brilliant. But the referee did start round two with Dar still flat on the mat. And when Gradwell grabbed him, Dar rolled him to reveal he was playing possum. But Dar dominated Gradwell for the round, hitting a Nova Roller to win the round and bring level. Round three, Dar targeted the knee of Gradwell to start. As Dar worked the arm and rained down knee strikes to Gradwell's ribs, Samuels encouraged him by saying, one more fall and we can go for a pint. Samuels is just brilliant. Dar attempted to lock on a champagne super knee bar. He finally locked it in with 10 seconds left, but Gradwell managed to hold on until the end of the round, and then Gradwell made a decision during the rounds to remove his knee brace, and unfortunately Dar came flying out to start, but Dar distracted the ref and Samuels slammed Gradwell's knee onto the apron. Again, Samuels being an excellent corner man.
Great corner man.
Dar went for a back elbow, but Gradwell caught him in the street. Gradwell looked to gain advantage, but Dar again kicked the knee. We see Gradwell grabbed his scarf of Charles Samuels and tossed it to Dar. The two pulled on the scarf to stop Gradwell bringing Dar in the centre of the ring. Dar locked on the champagne super knee bar. Despite only 4 seconds being left on the clock, Gradwell, excruciating pain. Don't forget, a reconstructed, I'm giving all this, had to tap.
It's fair.
Out.
It's fair.
I mean, what were your thoughts?
This is fun, man. This cup defense is not only why I like the match idea and how it's worked out. I also really like Dar as the cup, holder, because I knew he would excel. Not only because every match I've seen him doing this in the Heritage Cup style has been just fun for different reasons, But with Gradwell and how nefarious that I know Dar is gonna be, along with Shaw, and just like you said, he's methodical and just smart. He's so smart. The way things work out, the playing possum. I don't like knocking him out in the beginning, like you said. Selling was top notch, and then like immediately in the second round, collapsing, doing the roll up. I loved it. It's just like everything about this match, with the drama it had, the things that and of course I love bringing up the dramas towards the end that makes these matches just so special and fun to watch. Like you said, with a little bit of time, could he hold on? No. And my favorite one, so that's just always a plus, James. So yeah.
I mean, like I said, I love all three guys, including Shah.
Yeah.
But it's the little details. It's like Dar putting tape on the other names of the trophy, even crossing them out. He doesn't want to see them.
That's so great.
Charlie, ultimate cornerman, Dar being the best, like I said, and looking like he's out. Of course, I loved this main event. And like I said, NXT UK this month for the last 6 episodes, for me, I thoroughly enjoyed it. But Monty,
yeah, I agree, man. This is a breath of fresh air, content wise, especially when it comes to like WWE brand of content. Man, this is just from the storylines, from the way the shows are put together, and and what I love about it is just how simple it all is. Even the problems that they have backstage, or the competition, or whatever it is, the person, it's just all simple stuff. It's not, I know that wrestling can be a soap opera, but I would not call NXT UK a soap opera. Even though they have, some things that are, reminiscent of other things. It's so unique to me, but at the same time, just so simple. It just shows you that you don't have to do so much. But at the end of the day, when the bell rings and in the ring, they're gonna put on some of the best performances weekly. And man, this is just a fun batch of shows to review, and I'm genuinely excited. I think I come away so far from all of these reviews saying this, but I'm genuinely excited for what is next when it comes to NXT UK. And I just like it because, like I said, I don't think they do anything overly complicated or anything. I don't want to say not special, because it is special because of how simple it all feels. The stories seem like they're simple enough. They're simple to understand, easy to follow. You know what I mean? And then what's going on in the ring is always, usually, for the most part, just been top notch so far. I haven't been uninterested in anything I've seen overall. So this was a really good batch of shows, and I think they're on the money, and I think it only can get better going forward as a lot of these new stories start to play out.
I think without that, and I think it's nice to introduce, not in that way, but to have someone watch the product and kind of pick up the same things, and like the things that I'm thinking. Am I just, because obviously as a bias streak or whatever, we've all got our favourites.
Of course,
I think. And I think with NXT UK, it's. Yeah, apart from maybe Dynamite and SmackDown every couple of weeks, it flies by, and I feel with NXT UK, like I said, you could watch even like 8 episodes. Doesn't sound, for me, 8 episodes of NXT doesn't sound as daunting. Well, to be fair, 1 episode of NXT 2.0, like,
exactly, and I watch, even when I'm watching NXT 2.0. I sometimes I get a chance to watch them live. I watch a little bit of it live when it's airing. But a lot of times I'm DVRing. A lot of times I'm doing basically what I can do on the cock, which is have all the episodes right there. And I can just split it up. Like you said, 8 episodes, that's 2 days for me, really. I can watch 4 hours of it one day and watch another 4 hours of it the next. Or I can split it up however I want throughout a week. Like, it's beautiful like that, especially if you watch it in the way I do it. And if you want to just watch it on a weekly basis, set out an hour weekly to just try to catch up and keep and keep up with it. It's also perfect for that too, because of, like you said, how quick it comes in, it gets right into the action. Just like I love everyone loves talking about how Dynamite gets right into the action. Well, NXT UK from the beginning, as far as I'm concerned, has always been right to the action, and I've always liked that. And I really love that about these reviews. It's and you don't lack for wrestling, even though it's an hour. I don't feel like I'm missing anything wrestling wise, and I think that sometimes is the worry, but it's cool. I really love it. It's strong stuff every time we review it. And I'm really glad you asked me to start doing these, man, because it's been cool. I don't always have time to watch it in a timely manner, but every time I sit down and I watch them and I take my notes, I genuinely have enjoyed it. And with the state of NXT 2.0, I'll definitely look forward to watching UK because it gives me a lot of the black and gold vibes, but at the same time, it has its very own twist that's more new to me. Maybe you're more accustomed to it, but yeah, I really do enjoy NXT UK, and yeah, this was fun. This was always fun.
Right, excellent. Like I said, well, finally, we were going to have a look at an NXT, but rather than doing a kind of full-on review, we're just going to keep the talking points because we want to do our next show together will be War Games. So we'll probably go into more detail about, NXT on that show. But I think the main kind of talking points there was setting up the card that we had for. So, Grayson Waller turning heel, facing Ciampa in the beginning. But Cameron Grimes coming out, actually looking quite well groomed and challenging.
Looks younger.
That looks good, doesn't he? Challenging Duke Hudson in a hair versus hair match. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh man, I'm not gonna say I'm not a fan of the hair versus hair match because it can be done right. Even though I'm not the biggest proponent of it, but I don't mind it. It's a decent little match. I don't know what Duke Hudson has actually done to get like a takeover spotlight match like this. It's kind of funny to me that he's there, but it should work out though because I like Hudson and I think Grimes is really really good in the ring. So I think the match will be fine, or at least should be. Cool. I don't know whose hair is in trouble though, because this is one time where I'm just not sure. Is Hudson gonna go lower than he already is? Grimes is already cut a little bit, so I don't know.
So who are you gonna go for then? I'll put you on the spot. I'm gonna say we're gonna do predictions right now, and I'm gonna say the winner of this match is gonna be. I put myself on the spot. I'm going to go Grimes. Fuck it. I'm going to go Grimes.
Man. You know what? I'm going to go Grimes too. Part of me want to say Hudson because it probably would do something for Hudson, I guess, because it would be a nice little nod. But before this, he wasn't really winning much. And him winning this and also not only getting another chance to cut more of his hair, I don't know why. I don't know if I'm down with that finish, but I don't know, man. Don't be surprised, though. Do not be surprised if we're just both wrong.
Flat out. And I'll tell you what we've done before. We've tried to guess who's going to be in a pay-per-view match when we did the Queen and the King of the Rings and completely failed. So we're going to try it again. So it's going to be Imperium versus either Legado del Fantasma or Kyle and Von Wagner. It's got to be the world's blandest tag team.
It's definitely probably going to end up being Wagner and O'Reilly. Or Lurch and O'Reilly, as Imperium referred to Wagner, the other on the most recent episode. But anyway, I don't really care either way. I would prefer Legado to get this spot, because even though I understand that it's probably going to end up being the baby faces here, if you can even call them that, they're just boring to me. But either way it goes, Imperium is retaining. Yeah. How about that? That's a safe way. Yeah, that's a safe.
I'm Imperium as well. I'm Imperium. I'm with you. Another weird one. The Cruiserweight Championship weight does not matter anymore because Roderick Strong versus Joe Gacy. What are your thoughts on this match?
No, this is absolutely insane to me, and it cracked me up though because Gacy was saying had all the right language to just tick somebody off and this exclusive and just oh my god. I give him props because the promo to set this up was definitely entertaining. Same thing with Bivens. I thought some of his lines were cool. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. I don't understand why. Did Diamond Mine also, and by the way, did Diamond Mine flip up and be the face? Who's the face here? Who are we supposed to like here? And that's another confusing thing. But I think we just watched Rod beat Odyssey Jones. He's way bigger than Gacy. What are they doing now that I think about it when it comes to this?
Clue.
I don't know, man.
I'm going to say I think Strong retains it.
Yeah, definitely.
I think. Well, hang on. I'm just writing the predictions. String is not his name. It's Roderick Strong. And then we've got I hate predictive text sometimes. And then we've got the women's War Games match.
Yeah.
Which is Toxic Attraction. And Dakota Kai. Going against Kaylee Ray, Io Shirai, Raquel Gonzalez, and Cora Jade. What the fuck? The three women in that match are like, could be the Shield. And then you stick Cora Jade in there. What are your thoughts and predictions?
By the way, one of your Shield members, I just gotta say, Kaylee Ray was not breaking stuff in NXT UK, was she?
No.
Was she this much of a demolitionist? Here we go again with changing things for the sake of change. I have no reason why. Like, she was fine. She was the longest reigning NXT UK champion. You gotta make sure you keep reminding us that. Women's champion. So, like, come on, like, why change up anything about her? I don't understand it, but that's not the point of this story. This, Toxic Attraction thing. I think since they won big at Halloween Havoc, the faces probably will win the women's War Games match. I could be wrong, but I can see EO definitely doing something cool off of Cage, and they're definitely going to bump their asses off because, if War Games is anything like it's been recently, or like, since NXT has started doing War Games, this should still be fun and entertaining to watch. So I'm going with the faces here. But yeah, what they're doing with Kaylee Ray for no reason is really confusing to me. But, hopefully she can get back to doing what she do best. And I know in the ring, I think her and Dakota Kai having a ladder match. I am excited about it. Like, that should be cool. Just let them go out there and do what they do. But yeah, I don't understand what's the need to break anything. I don't think she necessarily need that, but I'll leave it alone. We'll save that for when we get to the actual War Games breakdown.
Without doubt, I think I'm going to go faces in that one, with Kaylee Ray getting a definitive, I can't say the word, getting a victory.
Yes, she should definitely get the pin over Mandy in my belief.
And then we look at NXT, of course, and the main event was Carmella Hayes versus Johnny Gargano versus Pete Dunne for the NXT North American Championship. You can't really go wrong with these three guys involved. Looks like Pete Dunne was going to get it with a bitter end, but Tony the fucking Angelo pulled Dunne out of the ring.
Oh my God, I knew you were...
I was
this
like,
is the second time too, by the way, because Dunne was close to winning something else in some. It was just like really, like this is the second time in a row. I think it was the Fatal 4-Way. He was spot away from winning.
It's just
they're ripping your heart out and throwing it on the ground.
They are. Melo hit the diving leg drop on Gargano for the win, and afterwards, Melo tricked D'Angelo, starting to beat down Knight, and Waller joined the action, followed by Tommaso Ciampa, who saved Gargano like Johnny Difford Dexter. But we see Bron Breakker finally arrive to call for War Games, beginning the second brawl that would not stop. I know what team I'm backing. What do you think? What do you think of the main event for NXT, and what do you think of this main event match?
Hey man, I really like this match. I like how the match and the Bill played perfectly into what was going on in the it literally played perfectly into the ongoing theme in 2.0, and that's basically old school, new school. So I love the fact that this match played into that perfectly, while also at the same time just being really, really good. And you can just tell these three guys are good, comfortable with each other. They just worked so well. I thought it was just so crisp at times. They were going at it, and it was just so many impressive moments, too many to even count, honestly. And and it was just all back to back. It felt like until D'Angelo popped up and cost Dunne there toward the end, and I thought that really sucked, honestly. But it was setting up War Games, and the last part was kind of cool. I had no problem with it, especially with them with me knowing what I already knew about Gargano and this possibly being the last time or last match for a while in NXT, or at least the last time we'll see him with Ciampa to make up DIY. So yeah, I thought that was a very, very cool ending. I loved it, but at the same time, the match itself, how it'll play out, I think that'll also be another strong match. I honestly believe the new school is going to win that match, though, James. I'm sorry. I think Melo is going to pin maybe a Gargano, or maybe someone else. Maybe even a Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker could get the pin, but especially since I believe the old school, or I guess you can call them older school for the women, because Cora J don't really count. But the baby faces in that thing, I think they'll win that one, and I think the new school will have to win something, at least in the way they usually put cards together. And I think this is where they will actually win. And since this is not a title match, I don't think there's anything holding them back to make from making the new guys look strong here. So that's the only unfortunate thing to me. I'm going for the old school easily, but I think the new guys are going to win.
Well, do you know what? I honestly agree with you. I think Bron Breaker's going to get a victory, probably over Ciampa to catch up, to make up for the title. But we don't want boring predictions here. We want something on the line. So I'm going to go for the faces. They're going to lose.
Bury them.
Come on.
Pull out the shoe.
Pete Dunne, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, LA Knight. Come on, boys.
Pull out the shovel. And look how fast these annoying new guys got me cheering and rooting for LA Knight. He was despicable a few months ago. Just 6 months ago, we were talking about him being scum of the earth level. He was cockroach. Cockroach level. And now I love LA Knight. Him rubbing Grayson Waller's loss in his face was hilarious to me, because I was agreeing, like, yeah, screw Waller.
Fuck
By the
Grayson
way, they
Waller.
fought all night. Did you notice that?
Yeah, they did. That's what, I really enjoyed it. But it's funny when they go, right, action.
Right, start back fighting. Like, oh my God. By the way, you can tell they had to stop in between, because they would be drenched in sweat realistically.
Yeah. They'll be slipping and sliding. It won't be anything else.
The longest fight in history. But yeah, strong ending to NXT though. I will say.
Without doubt. Like I said, I thought it was a good opening with Waller and Ciampa, and a nice ending. Everything else in between, apart from Grimes' promo, meh. But that's kind of 2.0 at the moment. Weirdly enough,
pretty much.
I had time for 205 Live. I don't know what was wrong with me at one point, but it was because of Solo Sikoa, and he faced Andre Chase, and this was actually a more competitive match than I was expecting. You're thinking you're going to get the 4 or 5 minute kind of match, but it's about 15. Chase, and even in the jumper, was doing a few good moves. Obviously, Solo got the win. Again, there is so much to watch. I'm not expecting anybody to check out 205 Live, especially when it'll be on NXT. But what I want everybody to check out is NXT UK. No, not NXT UK. I'm lying to you. NXT TakeOver War Games. Get it right or not at all, because, of course, that will be our next episode. But that is it for today, where we have done NXT UK go. So don't forget, of course, all social media, Twitter at the WNR Podcast. I'm at the WNRJR. Where can they find you, Monty, apart from weekly on the show?
Right. I was about to say, on the WNR. At my Monty Pod on the Twitter. Please hit me up. Check out my podcast. My link tree is in the bio. I usually just run through Twitter because it's simpler. I have other social media, and I have to step up my game, but I'm mostly on Twitter. I barely have enough time for that, so bear with me. But please check out my podcast. I think I put on a good enough show for you guys. You guys to want to listen to more of me, right? Anyway,
we want more Monty and more. That's what we want.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, I like that. Do it. Say it again. No, I'm just playing. Anyway.
We want money. Hey. Calm down, everybody. There's a crowd here now. Calm down. You go to the back. All right? No, it's not fair.
Mind of Monty on all search platforms when it comes to podcasts. And you should be able to pick me up. If not, let me know. Tweet me so I can put it on there. Whatever it is. I don't care. SoundCloud. I probably don't have a sound. Either way, go. Check me out. Thank you again, James. And this is fun, as always.
Well, I was about to say, anybody listening to you on the podcast, of course, when you do your own stuff as well, it is different. It's not just the same kind of cut and paste like reviews and stuff like this that we use. So, like I said, please check out Monty out. He is a vital member of the WNR podcast team, and the WNR also on Facebook and Instagram across all Google platforms. Send us an email to WNRpodcast@gmail.com, and YouTube is on podcast for the latest clips and podcasts at the same time on YouTube as do SoundCloud on your phone. I've got a bet with Jaxie. I try and say this as quick as possible because I know no one's towards the end of the show. As soon as I go, that's it. That's them done. But I'm going to go fast. Also, Spotify and iTunes, where you can download, subscribe, rate, and review there. That is it. Like I said, next show, we've got more Monty. Because what do we want?
Thank
Monty.
you, one new listener who's still listening right now, who wanted to try to jot any of that down. He's going to have to slow that down, my guy.
do it like the minus, the Apple. With it minus 0.5. I've also on Spotify. Look, it's been a long day, and some shows end better than they do, but this show's always been fun. Like I said, more Monty, more Takeover next time round. Until then, I've been Jones, and I don't know if I mentioned, but Monty's been on the show today. Again, thank you very much for being on.
No problem, man. Can't wait to do it again. See you. I guess it'll be a new year next time you guys hear us. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how this works anymore. Time, when you're in a basement, guys, time doesn't exist. Anyway.
Well, I'll chuck you that bread. You've earned it tonight. There's no doubt. But until I release Monty again, I said thanks for listening, everybody, and bye.
Adios.